Preppers. This is Trigger with the 4th Regiment Preppers out here in the beautiful state of Arizona. This morning we wanted to make a quick little video in regards to some firearm selections that you may be interested in. As everybody well knows in the prepping community, right now we are currently experiencing a buying craze on weapons and ammunition. Anybody can go to a local gun store or a gun show, and you can literally see the prices and the lines, and people are just in a frenzy right now. It's almost like panic. And with that being said, the prices are not like they were a couple of years ago, where you can go buy a Bushmaster AR-15 for, I don't know, I've seen them as low as $7.99 in some instances, but that was a while back. Now you can't even touch those rifles for at least under $1,000. So with prepping, and I know a lot of us are on a budget right now. We got to keep the lights on. We got to keep a roof over our head. Brutus is in the same boat I am. You know, we got families to take care of, but we also have a responsibility to our families, and that is to ensure their protection and ensure their survival if ever needed. So with that being said, as you can see on my table in front of me right here, we have a little bit of assortment of some bolt-action firearms that are still relevant today, even though semi-automatic weapons and the assault weapon, as they like to brand them, but not, even though those are taking the spotlight off everything, these are still relevant in today's world. Now, we got 3 rifles up here, and we'll be going into a little bit of detail, not a lot of detail because we don't have a lot of time on the camera, but I want to basically give you the facts, the pros and cons of each one of these rifles sitting up here, and hopefully you can make a decision of, well, do I really want to go out and spend that $1,500 on an AR-15 plus the magazines, which are going to run you more, plus the ammunition, good luck finding it. And if you do, you're going to be spending a pretty penny, almost $1 per round. So do the math, 500 rounds, pretty big chunk of change that you could be putting into food storage or anything else that you feel is relevant to your prepping needs. So again, this is not going to be it's not a end-all be-all video. We just want to offer our insight here at the 4th Regiment Preppers as to what we have experienced out here in Arizona and what we could recommend for a prepper starting on a budget or maybe a veteran prepper like some of you out there. There's nothing wrong with having a good, solid bolt-action rifle in your arsenal. So with that said, no further ado, let me introduce some of the weapons we have here on the table. To my immediate left here, this is a Mosin Nagant m-44 carbine, okay? The middle rifle, same family rifle. This is a Mosin Nagant M9130 infantry rifle. This is the basic rifle you will see predominantly at gun shows and other venues, gun stores and stuff like that. On my immediate right here, this is a Savage Arms 30-06 bolt action. Nope, well, there goes my mount, but sorry about that, guys. But these rifles are a little heavy. So anyway, we'll touch base on this one here in a little bit, but what I really want to do for you preppers out there, I really want to go over the aspects of the Mosin Nagant family right here to my left. Okay. Now, the Mosin Nagant rifle. The Mosin Nagants have been around a long time, well over 100 years. As many of you may well know, the Mosin Nagant is a Russian design. These are Russian weapons. The M-44, 9130, M38, the Dragunovs, the Finnish models, they're all predominantly Russian models. These were primarily designed in 1891, so they've been around a long time. When you go to a gun store or you go to a gun show, the most predominant surplus firearm bolt action you'll find, besides an AK, is a Mosin Nagant. You'll find your Mausers and everything else. Turkish Mausers, Yugoslavian, maybe if you're lucky you'll find a German model, but it's going to be a little expensive. These are the most predominant surplus firearms you will find on the market. And the good thing about these rifles, gentlemen, they're still relatively cheap by today's standards, even with the gun craze going on. As a matter of fact, I went on J&G's website, J&G Arms, they're up in Prescott, Arizona, and they still do have a healthy number of these rifles in stock, and I think the price has only gone up maybe 50, 60 bucks. I've had the 9130 for about 3 years now. When I bought this rifle, I bought this thing for a measly $100. And when I bought that rifle, it came with a bayonet. So these are some of the battle accessories that are standard on this particular rifle, the one in the middle, the 9130. Came with a bayonet. Rifle also came with an ammunition pouch. This is the original Soviet ammunition pouch that would hold your rounds. And your rounds are on stripper clips, as I have a couple for demonstration right here for our video. These are stripper clips, and these are holding 7.62 by 54R, and we'll get into that in here in a couple minutes. So your basic ammo pouch is an accessory that comes with this rifle. You also get an oil bottle. Some kits come with 2, some come with only 1. Mine unfortunately only came with 1, but it's okay. They're actually very well built, they're very robust. If I can screw this off here for you guys. Nice little rubber ring in there. I know it's hard to see. Brutus, we'll probably have to zoom in. Actually, you might want to do that right now, Brutus. Hold on, guys. Brutus, see if you can zoom in just a little bit here. I want to give our audience, our fellow preppers here, a little better look at some of the accessories, and maybe they can get a little bit closer detail on the weapons themselves. That way I don't have to try to get up and start dropping stuff all over the table and the floor. So, are we a little zoomed in a little better now, Brute? Okay, thank you, Brutus. Brutus is my... he's my CO, and he's also my camera technician for the morning, guys. But anyway, here's the bottle. Brutus, I'm pretty sure you might have to pan over on that a little bit. This is the original oil bottles that actually were issued with the weapon. These were issued to the Red Army with their bolt-action rifles. Now, another interesting note about the Mosin Nagant. I'm sure a lot of you fellas out there, preppers, and anybody else who's a firearm enthusiast, especially World War II firearms. Everybody's seen that movie, Enemy at the Gates. It's a movie about the snipers, the German versus the Russian. Jude Law played it, and Ed Harris. It's a great movie. It's actually pretty accurate. And if you would look at the firearms they were using in that movie, Jude Law, who played Sniper Zestev, actually ran around with the Mosin Nagant M9130. The only difference on his rifle, it was the PU sniper model. Fellas, it's the same rifle. Okay, it just had a little accessory rail on the side that they actually had a PU scope on it, so the sniper could utilize the rifle. It's a good quality rifle, very robust, very accurate, very cheap, still by today's standards. I would be shocked if you could not find one for under 150 bucks. They're still in very, very good shape, and they're still very plentiful throughout the United States. So the 9130 is the basic Soviet infantry rifle. Okay, let's move on to the M44. Now, I want to explain to you guys what the difference is here. So you got a 9130 standard infantry rifle. This is the M44. Now the M44 is a carbine version, and basically this model was designed after the 9130 because the Russians needed a bolt action that could be fit inside of a tank or a motorized, mechanized units. And the barrel length of a standard 9130 is over 28 inches long, whereas this one, the Soviets cut it down to size, and they actually offered, and Brutus is going to pick this up here real quick. I don't know if you fellas can see this, but it's basically the same rifle. It's all the same rifle. It's just a little shorter, except the accessory of this. All the M44s have a bayonet. Brutus, you got the shot right here? Let me give a camera. I got to show you guys this. The M44 utilized a folding style bayonet. It locks out right over the muzzle. Whereas on the 9130 model, the bayonet was not attached to the rifle permanently. You actually had the bayonet on right here. And basically the same kind of thing. It slides over and locks into place over the hooded post. Okay? Now a lot of guys are wondering, well, prepping, well, Trigger, Brutus, why is it that bayonets are still relevant? Well, it's a Soviet doctrine, okay? Back in those days in World War II, bayonets were standard equipment. As a matter of fact, the Soviets fought with the bayonets extended, so they weren't overrun or anything like that. So you're always going to get bayonets and other accessories with your rifle. Other things you'll get with both these rifles, again, the accessories are the same. You get a little cleaning kit, you get all kinds of little tools right here. Kind of goes into your cleaning rod and whatnot. Now, let's talk about the ammunition real quick. Here's the big thing. The round is a 7.62 by 54R. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, what does that mean? Well, a 7.62, 30 caliber, it's very similar to a 30-06. 30-06 is a 30 caliber. 7.62 by 54R. Springfield 30-06. Now, Brutus, I don't know if you can zoom in on this, but I want to show the comparison here. I want to show the similarities of these two rounds. Okay, you got them? Okay. All right, guys, so here's what we got. You got a 7.62 on my left, 54R, and you got a 30-06 on my right. Now obviously the 30-06 has a lot longer case and neck, got a little bit heavier round versus the 7.62x54R. And gentlemen, all R stands for is rimmed. There's a little rim on the back of this casing, whereas on American rounds, it's flat across. There's no rim. You can't really, feel it. This one has a big one, and that's important. That's how these extract out of the rifle. So, 7.62x54R. Okay, very powerful round. It actually has the same ballistics and knockdown capability and power of a 30-06 round. 30-06 is a little bit more accurate. 7.62x54R can go just as far, has the same knockdown power, and the 7.62x54R has more stable ballistics than a 308. Now a lot of your gun buddies are gonna be like, oh, come on, man. Guys, look up any ballistics information or charts online, or just go talk to your local gun guys and they'll tell you what these rounds are capable of, especially if you have match rounds, sniper rounds. And my rifles are not wanting to stay up, they must be camera shy. So, why the Mosin Nagant and why the 7.62x54R? Well, Mosin Nagants are surplus rifles. They're all over the country. You can still buy them. You can buy them off anybody. I mean, you can find them anywhere. They're very cheap. They're very plentiful. The Russians made millions of these, not only during the war, but after the war.